Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chai Together. I am your host and founder, Pratiba Day. You are tuning in for your cup of chai, courage, hope, and imagination today. We use courage on this platform to showcase the stories. We use hope to overcome, and we use imagination to resonate and to understand the stories being told. So, with that being said, I have my friend here, Mr. Cordell Jeffers from the UK.
Yeah.
How you feel?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me here
Yeah.
today.
And we're matching. That means our energies are aligned. So that's what we represent. And we didn't plan this. And I always do this. So I want to tell you a bit about Cordell. Cordell Jeffers is an accomplished entrepreneur from the UK. He has used adversity and difficult situations in his early life to become the unstoppable force he is today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's really awesome to have you here. I hope everyone's having a great, great day. If you are here, leave a comment in the comment box and let's get started. So where would you like to start, Cordell?
Well, first of all, I just want to say an absolute honor to be on this
Yeah.
platform because I've seen some incredible interviews, and I always think when I'm watching them, when I knew my time was coming up, I was like, that interview was so amazing, man. I can't better that. But you're doing an amazing job, and I'm just happy that you gave me this opportunity to speak. But yeah, so my name's Cordell. I'm from the UK, from Birmingham. I'm 28 years old. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, and I'm also a mindset coach. So my journey started off quite funny, really, because I was in school, in education. I really just didn't get on in education. Like, I wasn't, I was dyslexic, so I found it quite hard to engage in a lot of the lessons. Anyway, but the teachers used to just, they always used to just they used to just get on my nerves, to be honest with you. A lot of my teachers used to get on my nerves, you know what I mean? I think back in those days as well, I don't want to use it as an excuse, but I do believe a lot of the teachers that I was around at the time were quite racist towards me. Do you know what I mean? Just to the way I used to get treated from others in the class. They labelled me a fog, they labelled me a ringleader, they labelled me, a nuisance, ideally. And, getting with these labels, you start to believe it, so young. And then I used to start to act like the way they used to label me. So then I used to act like a nuisance, being a nuisance in class, getting kicked out of class all the time, just for silly things. Spent most of my school years in detention or isolation. Do you have isolation out there over in, do you know
No, we have
isolation?
detention.
Okay, so isolation is like detention is after school, normally for us. So you spend the time after school, but isolation is where you spend the whole school day just in a room writing out the rule book.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do have that.
yeah. So I used to be in that all the time, and it was just so
Wow.
annoying. I ended up getting kicked out of school by the time I was around 14 years old, and I left with no qualifications. And leaving school with no qualifications, coming from a Caribbean background, my mum wasn't happy at all. Do you know what I mean? And I never forget the day I got kicked out, Fatima. I went home and I was like, Mum, I'm messed up. And she knew that I messed up. And she was like, well, listen, you've been kicked out of school. I'm not going to beat you this time. Because my mum, that was standard. I'd get an ass beating when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? And she said, I'm going to send you to the Caribbean. I was like, what? I said, don't be talking crazy. Like, you can't send me to the Caribbean. She goes, no, I think this is an amazing opportunity. I'm going to send you to the Caribbean to live with your grandparents. So, I ended up moving to the Caribbean, and at the time I hated it. My mum for it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was like, Mum, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna send me to the Caribbean. I'm 14, 15 years old, so I'm the cool kid in the group. You know what I mean? I've got my first girlfriend and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be leaving my surroundings where I am. I'm comfortable. But my mum decided, and when she told me, I tried my hardest not to go. Like, I hid my passport and everything. Do you know what I mean? And she found my passport, obviously, and she ended up giving me a beating for that as well. And anyway, this is, I'm 14 years old, crying my eyes out to the Caribbean. But, when I was there, my mindset shifted quite instantly because, I was put into this raw environment. I seen people living in poverty, and what I seen them doing, the hard work they was putting in, their work ethic and their determination towards their education and just any little opportunities that they had. It humbled me, and it kind of shifted my mindset because I was thinking, well, you know what? I should have made the opportunity when I was back in the UK. And yeah, my mindset shifted over there because, I seen kids with not a lot still make, things happen. And, you know, I learned a lot of discipline out there as well. Going to school in the Caribbean was just crazy. Like the teachers, you know, they used to beat you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I never think,
Corporal punishment.
yeah, back then you'd get beaten with a cane. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't,
They
it was
still do
quite,
that now. They still do that now in Thailand when I was teaching abroad because Cordell, my background's in teaching. I'm a teacher.
oh, okay.
You didn't know that. So I'm very, yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I have a question for you regarding the dyslexia. So did your mom ever understand that you're dyslexic? Did you ever get any help for that?
Do you know what? I didn't realize I was dyslexic until later on. Do you know what I mean? I kind of knew when I was in school, but I didn't know. I didn't know there was a name for it, but I knew I was thinking,
Mhm.
my spelling isn't the best. Like I just used to find words quite confusing. Do you know what I mean? I was a good
Yeah.
speaker and I could always write stories. There were two things that I was good at doing, but numbers, forget about it. That just wasn't
Yeah.
my thing. So I never got the help that I needed. But back then, I don't even think it was really a thing now. Because, you know, like now, like you can get help with it. You can go to
Mhm.
specific services. Back then, they didn't have those. You're talking about 15, 16 years ago. So
Mhm.
it wasn't something that was, you know, on the high priority for teachers. Do you know what I mean? They used to just put you in the bottom sets and that was it.
Yes. Yes. Now we also have school psychologists for that, to, assess, students. So one thing I want to ask you is, when that was happening, how was your mental health as a child? Did you have any suicide ideations? That's the most severe of it. There's a movie called Tare Zameen Par. It's a Hindi movie about dyslexia. It means that the stars are on Earth. Talking about little kids who have dyslexia. So there's a child in the movie. I'm telling the movie, but a child, and he was beaten a lot with sticks and stuff in different schools, and so his parents got fed up with him, and he's possibly like 10, and sent him to boarding school, and he was gonna jump off, at that age, like he was gonna commit suicide. So
Yeah.
what was your severity level of that? Because it's really a shame when teachers aren't educated and are ignorant to not understand that a child may have a disability.
Well, for me, it wasn't. I wouldn't say I had any like thoughts like that. But for me, it was just I was
Yeah.
rebelling. So when they didn't understand me, and if I tried to reach out and they kind of blocked me and just labeled me a certain type of child or student, I
Yeah.
I just I thought, you know what? Well, if I want to play up to whatever they label me. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
a rebel, and that's I just put my frustrations out in education.
So were you a bad student? Is that what you were considered, like, from your mom, that you're not doing what you need to do? Was that what it
Well,
was?
the thing is, my mom kind of, she was on two sides. Like
Mhm.
she always tried to defend me as much as possible, but then there was
Yeah.
a time when it was just getting too much. Do you know what I mean? When it was like every single week, I was just getting into strife, trouble. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So when I ended up getting kicked out, like even now, they don't even kick people out of school here in England no more. Like you get a manager move, they won't just kick you out. They
Mhm.
work with you, but back then they just kick you out and they don't even care what happens. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I got kicked out, and then that's when my mum decided to take me to the Caribbean. But like I said, over there,
Yeah.
it was a good culture shock. Even though, like I said, I resented my mum at the time for it.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? Because she was taking me away from everything in the UK, but it was something that I needed. I needed that culture shock. I needed to see
Yeah.
people in a lot worse positions still strive for what they had. And over there, obviously, I'm in the Caribbean, so I'm learning more about my culture, my heritage, which I didn't get to learn about before. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of
Yeah.
learning about the World War II and what the royal family did, I was learning about the ancient Egyptians, ancient Kemet, and all the scientists that were of my color and my heritage that were
Mhm.
making things happen. We didn't get to learn about that, so that was quite empowering. And another thing why I learned a lot of discipline over there is because, like I said, I used to get, when I first jumped in, I came with my English attitude, and I never forget the head teacher gripped me up one time and he said, "English boy, don't come to this school with your English behavior," and he beat me with the cane. When I say that there, I couldn't believe I was getting beat by a teacher. And then when I went home, I was like, "Mom, you've sent me all the way here to get beat by a teacher. What are you doing?" And she said, This is what you needed to learn." And I learned discipline over there. I learned how to respect myself, and I learned more about my heritage, and that made me feel more empowered as a black young man. So when I came back to the UK, it was hard because I had to decide to leave my mum over in the Caribbean because she lived with her parents. She wanted to basically look after my grandparents. So when I came back, leaving my mum and my little brother, it was honestly one of the hardest things I had to do. But I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to make it work, and that's going to be my reason why. And you know, Les Brown, he says something that, you know, always used to resonate with me when I was going as a teenager. He said, you know, if you fall on your back, make sure you can look up, because if you can look up, you can get up. Let your reasons get you back up. And that really stuck with me. And I always said, you know, my reason why, it was going to be, you know, my family. My family was going to be my strong reason why. And your reason why has to be bigger than your excuses. When you have a strong reason why, you know, it doesn't matter what you go through, you'll get through it, because you've got something bigger than yourself that you're working towards. So when I came back to the UK, I said, I'm going to make my mum proud, I'm going to make my brother proud, and anyone, you know, any of my family that's supporting me, like my fiance now that I've been with for, like, we've been together since 15 years, since school.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I always said, these are the people that have had my back, I'm going to give it back to them. So, you know, I came back to the UK, and I, you know, I've been able to achieve what I've been able to achieve. And even when I came back to the UK, it was still hard, because I was living with my auntie in a quite hard area. And I was, you know, I decided to get myself into self-development, reading a lot of books. You know, my teacher gave me Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he came to me and he gave me that book, and he said, I'm giving you this book because I just see a different kind of energy in you compared to the other students. He said, I want you to read this book. And when I read that book, my mind just, it opened up, man. It just expanded. And the first thing that I'd done is I saved as much money as I could, and I brought hair straighteners. Do you know what I mean? And you're probably thinking hair straighteners, like, why would you buy hair straighteners? But do you remember GHD hair straighteners? I think they still got them now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was like, I ain't got no hair. I ain't got no hair. And I bought some GHD hair straighteners, and I bought them in bulk, and I was just selling them to, you know, hairdressers around my area. I don't know why I got into that, but the profit margins were really good. And that's literally how I started on my business journey. And then from there, I've just gone on to achieve so much.
I just want to let you know how so many people are tuning in for you. Well, both of us, and so much love in the comments. It's ridiculous. It's because it's us. But I want, you know, when you were mentioning a quote by Les, a quote you said in your speech. So Cordell was on Summit 4, Mr. Les Brown's Power Voice, recently last Saturday. And I was listening to his speech, and he said one thing that's so profound that I posted. And it's that, you know, time is not running out, your life is. Wow. Is that your original?
No, that is that. I made that my original, but where I got that from was Think and Grow Rich. That's where I got the idea from, that, because it was like, you know, when you commit to something, commit to it, because, you know, life is a journey. It's not a long journey. So it's kind of like, why do we have all these fears and let you know, society impose all these fears onto us that make us feel uncomfortable? And it's like, why do we have this illusion of fear? It's a perception. It's not real. It's completely fake. So it's kind of like, just jump out of your comfort zone and do what you have to do, because if you don't, like Les says, you're going to be robbed, you know, by the graveyard of your goals and your dreams. And that's where I came up with, you know, like, time's not running out, but your life is. Your life's running out, and it's a powerful thing. You know, they say that we've got roughly around, most people have around 30,000 days to live while on Earth. And it's kind of like, when I see that number, like, I write that number. I used to write that number down all the time, and each day that used to go past, I used to write the number lower and lower and lower. But that creates urgency. Do you know what I mean? Like, start where you are now with what you've got, and just attack your goals, attack your dreams, because the last thing you want to do is be regretful on your last days, because we don't know when we're gonna. I just had a cousin, you know. I wasn't close. I don't know her, like, she wasn't like my close cousin, but I found out some bad news. You know, someone in the family, you know, young, died not long, like 2 days ago, just out of nowhere, and that just puts things into perspective. Stop holding off what you can do today. Do you know what I mean?
So good. Gives me chills.
No, for real, man. It's like, stop holding off. And when I came back to the UK, and I was living with my auntie, like I said, I was living in a troubled area, so I got into buying and selling electronics, selling hair straighteners and other things. It's so funny when I say hair straighteners, because people say, why would you have hair straighteners? But like I said, I seen an opportunity, and you know, I still came into trouble, because, like I said, people were starting to get jealous of me, and, you know, people came to my house, people tried to rob me, and that was also you know, quite a scary time for me, and that put me into a bit of depression as well, because I was, you know, had people come to my house. My auntie was scared for years living at home, and it was like, I've come all the way from the Caribbean, and my aunties gave me this, you know, her place to stay. She's opened up her doors for me.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing trouble, and I didn't understand why I'm bringing trouble, because I was doing something positive, but I realized I had to separate myself from people as well, and that's really important. You know, that people that don't believe in you, people that are negative, people that keep you in a low vibration, separate. You have to separate in order to elevate. I realized in that moment when that happened to me, I realized, you know, it was like God was talking to me, and I just, it was like, you know, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And sometimes we be going on a journey and we come across obstacles, but they actually happen for us to make the adjustments that we need in our life. Do you know what I mean? And I realized when them people come to rob me, it was because I realized I was associated with people that I loved, but they had negative associations to them, and that was coming on to me. Do you know what I mean? So I had to kind of separate from that as well. So that's a really important thing, man. I tell that to the young people all the time. You know, separate yourself in order to elevate yourself. And it's worked, because now I'm a successful entrepreneur. You know, I run 2 businesses. I'm a mindset and motivational speaker. I've worked with over 10,000 young people around the whole of the UK, developing their mindset for success, and, you know, helping them raise their belief systems and teaching them entrepreneurship. You know, I've been invited to places by Prince Charles in order to speak at events with him. You know, I got interviewed by Lionel Richie over there. I was at the Les Brown Speaker Summit. So crazy things happen when you fully believe in your vision, when you understand that, you know, time's running out, so just attack your goals now.
I bet your mom is proud of you now. How does she feel?
My mom, every time I speak to her, she's like, she just smiles, she's really happy. You know, she's a show off now, so, you know, she shows off. You know, before I even post out anything online, if I send it to her, I know it would have got around the whole family by the time I've even announced anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's proud. She's happy, and, you know, like I said, she was a big reason why. So I do this for my family. I do this for her. I do this for Beyonce. I do this for my auntie that gave me the place to stay when I came to the UK as well.
Do you feel like without you having gone back to the Caribbean that this wouldn't have been what you were doing now?
100%. I think, like I said, having that culture shock, and I'm coming out of my environment, because the thing is, when you're in your environment, sometimes you only see what's around you. Do you know what I mean? And that can cloud your vision. You kind of have limited thinking. So for me, it was good that I was able to come out of that environment and just go into a whole different place. Do you know what I mean? And see things from a different perspective.
Yeah. Like Les says, when you're in the frame, you know, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame.
That's it. And did you say you done work in Thailand and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, I taught ESL in Thailand. I lived there for 10 months in 2019. I came back last January to the States. Amazing. But I wanted to, go ahead.
Because I was going to say, so that must have been like, you must have seen a whole different side of things as well.
Yes, it made me who I am right now, doing what I do. Yes, that culture shock, seeing what people don't have, praying over my food, because you know, over 40,000 kids die every day from malnourishment. And the fact that God chose me, you know, blessed me to even have a hot meal. Because a year ago, I was also homeless. So I didn't have hot food. You know, I didn't have my mom's love, my dad's love, and I didn't have food to eat. I don't know if you know this about me, Cordell, but I was also pregnant, and I was homeless while I was pregnant with twins. So that's led on to me having an abortion. And I gave up my pregnancy because I was homeless at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, with no child's father. So that's part of me, but this isn't about you.
No, but I just want to say, like, look how powerful, like, anyone that is watching it and just heard what you just said. The power of, like, you still push through, and now you're here where you are now. You're an amazing brand to help other people, and you know, you're interviewing people and finding out about their stories. So I just want to say a massive credit for that. And that's the inspiration that I just love showing people, that no matter what you go through, sometimes, you know, as hard as it is, and even when you're in the dark times and you feel like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, these things happen for you. Do you know what I mean? They don't happen to you. You will be stronger because of it. And now, you know what I mean, you can go on and help people that are going to be in that position, are going to be in that same position. And it's only you that could do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, all the comments. Yeah, one thing I wanted to say is this is something I never shared publicly before, but the dream that I had the night after my abortion, I dreamt about C.H.A.I together, and I dreamt about a baby in a cup. And I didn't know that was in my subconscious, and I actually sketched it out the next morning like a little doodle. And after half a year now, I actually shared this with Fernanda, as one of the people who's on here watching, that I went back into my notebook and I saw it saying like a cup, you know, what I do now, C.H.A.I together with a baby. So that was inspired from that, and also from my mom. But, you know, it was a blessing in disguise. Something came out of it, you know, and I'm doing this now and I'm running with it. But if that hadn't happened, I don't know if C.H.A.I together would happen, you know? So it's really like a setup. Like for you, that was a setup for you to, you know, catapult into your success as an entrepreneur. Honestly, I wasn't going to, you know what I showed you earlier, Cordell, I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it. So
let's do it. Can I do one thing? Can I say one thing before we start, right?
Yeah.
I am so grateful you picked me, Cordell Jeffers, to actually do this on this platform right now. So I'm happy that I'm a part of this. So let's do it. Let's show the people.
All right. Oh, this is going to be slamming. All right. So I have a surprise for everyone who's tuning in. Close your eyes. 3, 2, 1. C.H.A.I together mugs. C.H.A.I together mugs. Awesome. They're big. They're 15 ounce. If you want one, you can DM me and I will reach out to you. I wasn't going to do this until later, but this just feels right. And wow. And this is me. This is my brand, my first product.
First product. So from a sketch, from a
sketch.
This is what I'm saying, man. You're like, your adversities make you who you are, man. Do you know what I mean? Like they say, like in every, devastation, there's always an opportunity for transformation. And I think that's exactly what you've done. And that's what I've done. And that's what many people have done that are watching right now. Do you know what I mean? It's just beautiful. And I said this before we jumped on the call. I said, if you're going to do this, interview, let's just make it about both of us, because that's what I love to.
Yeah.
Find out more about you. And that's beautiful. Can we see one more? I need to order some of them straight to the UK.
Yeah.
I'm covered now. I just need to get rid of
it. Together, one journey at a time. 15 ounce mugs. They're quality. They're good. They are pricier, and this is all mine. And I'm so happy and grateful, and I'm just a bit shaky that I'm sharing this on a live.
It's amazing. And this is the thing, guys, like it's vision to reality. Do you know what I mean? Reality, man. That's what we do. I mean, whatever you can think in your mind, you can have in real life. Do you know what I mean?
You can. This is something, that I sketched, and it's like, honestly, I never shared this either, but you guys, I actually painted this. This is my handmade logo. I did this myself. So those who don't know, I painted this in orange myself. This is actually an Indian diya. This is a flame. And this is just, looks like a little boat, but I hand painted this myself. So this is my brand and this is me. So if you get one, I'd be really grateful. And you're going to get like a handmade message from me and a cute little other thing. So
so excited. Are you going to be shipping to the UK?
Yes, I will be. Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm going to get mine. So as soon as that link comes out, please let us know so we can.
I got skills. Someone said she has skills. Yeah. I love art class. Yeah, but I definitely.
I was going to say, you've just showed everybody, how, anything that you hold in your mind, you can have in real life.
I painted that myself for my own brand. I wanted it to be 100% me. This is great. But I want to get back to you, Cordell. Are you ready?
Go on.
Yeah. So tell everyone about what you're working on now and what's coming up next for you. Yeah.
First of all, I wanted to just talk about one of my businesses, C.H.A.I Together. So C.H.A.I Together is a social enterprise. So what we do is we do a lot of work with, we work with young people. We work in 3 key areas: homelessness, youth development, and international development. So we've done a lot of work as well where we've built You know, we've built schools in places like Zimbabwe. We've sponsored kids across Nepal and India education for 5 years.
Yeah, I want to ask, do you have a nonprofit?
So it's a social enterprise. So it's like a non-profit, and we're just about to build a school. Well, we're about to build a virtual classroom in Jamaica, where my granddad lives, which is going to be pretty amazing.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm really excited about that project, and the whole plan about that is just basically providing e-learning platforms in real, you know, countries and places where, you know, the kids are not being able to access it. So that's what we're doing. I'm also working on a business academy as well with one of the most successful women in business in the UK. Her name's Linda. Check her out. And, you know, we're going to be teaching people entrepreneurship and really how to, you know, create new mental habits as well for success. So I'm excited for all these things, man. It's just at the start of COVID, when COVID first hit, you know, I had to adjust a lot because, like I said, I'm a speaker and I do a lot of work in schools and colleges and universities, and they all got shut down. So I didn't know what I was going to do, man. And, you know, I had a lot of anxiety when it first came. You know what I mean? So it was something that I had to deal with, and I had to really find out about who I was in that time, you know, because I went through it was a dark time. I had to go through it, man, because I was thinking, what am I going to do? But luckily, I found opportunity within the whole midst of this COVID and this pandemic, and been able to impact more people across the world now.
Yeah. One thing that just comes to mind from what we were discussing prior with your dyslexia, is that something that just went away on its own for you? Did you outgrow it?
No, I wouldn't say it's gone away. I still suffer with it now. Like, I can't spell for anything. Like, the thing is, you know, when you write something, like, I'll write a status on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And then I look at it like 2 hours later thinking, something's not right about this status. Do you know what I mean? And then I've realized, like, I've spelled something backwards or something. Do you know what I mean? So now I have to get everything, like, kind of like just proofread by somebody. I'm still kind of bad with that. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't stop me. It doesn't stop me. It's something that doesn't stop me. You've got people like Richard Branson. He was dyslexic. You know what I mean? I'm also left-handed. So when I was growing up, I used to get a lot of people like, oh, he's the lefty. He's the one with the left hand. Do you know what I mean? So
remember that myth they had with the you too, Pei Ming, have a great day. There was a myth with you know, people who are left-handed die earlier than right-handed people. Did you ever hear that?
Is that what they said?
They have, so left-handed people have more ways to die. Like, that's a thing. There's an article on that. It's like, if you're left-handed, you are more prone to pass away earlier than people who are right-handed. That's a thing.
I ain't putting that into my reality, so that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, let's not.
I'm outliving that. I don't know, but anyway, regardless of, I was saying this to my dad earlier. Like, for me, it's not about how long I live. It's about the impact that I make while I'm here.
Yes, like Kobe Bryant. Oh man, yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's people that live way longer than Kobe that will never have the kind of influence he had.
No.
You know what I mean? And some people are sent here from you know, above, from God. Do you know what I mean? And, I know what my mission is in life, and that's why I want everybody to. That's why I try and encourage everybody to really step into their purpose, because you know, there's God's only. We're all unique.
Yeah.
And we all can do. We only can do what we're sent here for. Do you know what I mean? A career, something you make money from, but a calling is your life purpose. So we have to step into our calling, man. No matter how scary it sounds, we have to do it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. Well, actually, I was gonna share with you. Do you follow Sadhguru?
Yeah, Sadhguru? I've been getting into him lately. Actually, I was listening to him.
Yeah. So I did his inner engineering program, but this is something separate. His wife, you know, passed away at a young age during a sadhana where she was meditating, and her soul left. It's something she prepared for. She said her time on earth was finished. She fulfilled and did everything she needed to, and she felt it was a good time for her to go, and that is how she left. So when you talk about age not being, you know, something that matters, it's really about, she did everything she wanted to, and she's like, I'm gonna go now. I don't want to go when I'm old. And then she left. Wow. It's really mindset. It's mindset training. She had to train for that, and then she left her body because it's just physical.
This is the thing.
Real.
Literally, just before I came on this phone, I was talking to my dad, and I was saying, you know, we don't have the conversations around death or anything like that, and you know, it can be a problem. It can be a problem because that's why we don't step out into our purpose because we have fears, don't we? Do you know what I mean? And we don't really have that conversation, man. And I think death can be a beautiful thing if you literally impact people with the time that you're here and serve others. You know what I mean? You don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life with what you serve to other people. I really believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just taking a look around for the book Death. I actually have Sadhguru's book called Death. Yeah.
Oh wow, really? Has he got a book on it?
Yeah, a book called Death, and it goes Death, a book for all those who shall die.
All those, like, not everybody's going to.
I know, he's funny. It's sarcasm, but
So
yeah.
what books? Tell me what books have you read? Let's share some amazing books. What books have you read that have like changed your life?
Your Invisible Power. It's really Audible I've been listening to mostly, but The Power of Now. I listened to by Eckhart Tolle and You've Got to Be Hungry. That Les's book I read in 2 days. But the books that really, I am more into spirituality and wisdom. So Sadhguru's Inner Engineering and a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh. Do you follow Thich Nhat Hanh? He's a Vietnamese Buddhist.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I listened to a lot of his books. One here I have now that is really helpful for healing people with trauma and things of that nature is You Can Heal Your Life by C.H.A.I. And at the back of it, everything that's stemmed in our physical body is from, our mind and our gut, right? Our gut is our second brain, such as Joe Dispenza says. So in the back of it, it has, let me get to the back. But basically, like this, I don't know if you guys can see, but here, like everything basically you have like depression or anything like, for example, a rash, you would say, I love and approve of myself. I am at peace with the process of life. Rash is from irritation over delays, babyish ways to get attention.
Wow.
So there's pain. Pain is stemmed from guilt. Guilt always seeks punishment. So for that, you would say, I lovingly release the past. They are free and I am free. All is well in my heart now. And this is by C.H.A.I. And she has another book called Heal Your Body, To Heal Your Body, I believe it's called. What other books for me?
Do you send me the links to those books so I could have a look at those?
Yeah, I can. But
Yeah.
the real books for me, actually, since I was 19 years young, I followed Mr. Don Miguel Ruiz. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Multi Collection. Yeah, that was a big one that impacted me and gave me wisdom.
Yeah. For me, it was Think and Grow Rich is my all-time number one book. And then the ones that I've learned recently that are quite amazing, The Values Factor. Now, The Values Factor is a real important book. I think everybody should read. It's by John D. Martini, and it really talks about how to, live within your values and live an inspired, fulfilled life based off your own values. I think it's a beautiful book.
I was gonna say U Squared by Price Pritchett. That's a good one. U Squared. John Tallarico also recommends that, our coach. Everyone tuning in. Yeah.
U Squared, yeah.
U Squared, you know that?
I haven't read that one.
Yeah, it's a thin one. I don't know where it is, but yeah.
Now, honestly, reading and self-development completely changed my life, man.
Yeah. And also I'm in the middle of The Greatest Salesman in the World. I learned from Michael Baptiste. Yeah, Michael Baptiste recommends that as like the number one book to read as, for network marketing and sales.
Yeah, about that book. That was amazing as well.
Yeah.
I think is it OG Mandingo's?
Yeah. Augmendino, yeah. There's Stella Adler's book I have here. I haven't read it yet. Do you know about it? The Art of Acting by Stella Adler.
I've got that in my ebook to read next. I've got that in my Kindle.
Yeah, there's a lot of books. Sorry?
Have you read that one yet?
No, I haven't read it yet. But that's an important one. That's actually recommended by Mr. Bernard Hiller, the acting coach for many celebrities. He recommended it to Bob Proctor. Yeah, he told me that himself.
I think the reason why that book is important because it's about basically, no matter what you're in, what the environment that you're in, you have to act the vision you want to be. So if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you need to act like that now. And then what you'll do is you'll raise your belief system. Do you know what I mean? So it's really, really important. That's why I think Bob Proctor you know,
Yeah.
share that book.
I've also just recently finished The Science to Getting Rich, you know,
Oh,
by
that book is amazing.
Waddle.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you
Someone
like that
said,
book?
yeah. Sorry?
Did you like that book?
I did. I did. You know, I feel like it goes along with everything that we learn generally. Like a lot of the
Mhm.
concepts are told in the book.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell that John Tallarico and other people have gotten it from that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms, on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, Cordell
Mhm.
Jeffers. Do reach out to me as well. Like I said, I'm working on an amazing business and mindset academy. So if you're having trouble with your business or you want to step into your business and create something powerful, then contact me. We'll go through a 30-minute free business strategy call and see what we can do, because it's all about impact this year. For me, it's all about serving other people. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like I've got to a stage in my life where I can really give my time back now and really give, you know, resources to people, and that's all I want to do now. So definitely hit me on Instagram, Cordell Jeffers. Yeah, man, and find me. You can Google me. You can find me in BBC News, find me in Guardian newspapers. So yeah, you can read about me, man. I'm a good person to work with, so definitely reach out.
Yeah. You do have Clubhouse, but you're not active right now.
Yeah, I've got Clubhouse as well. I'm not active, but I've got all these followers. I don't just everyone
Yeah.
just following everybody on that platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be actually doing a live on Wednesday on
Awesome.
Clubhouse with Kim Levins.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
should be
It is awesome.
yeah. So that's gonna she's amazing. So definitely come onto Clubhouse, man. I'll give you the ping so you can come into that room as well.
Okay. If I'm available.
That should be great. So tell me some of the plans that we've shared together though moving forward. I know you're going to be interviewing some amazing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a big day. Yeah. So my plan with Chai together, you know, obviously continue this, you know, coming out with my first product. And also I will be having a 12-week, you know, support group slash program so that I'm still creating. But right now, you know, sharing as many journeys that I can on this platform is really important. It's about getting the message out there first without it needing to be perfect. I am going to be going to grad school, so I shall see how things go with the balance.
Amazing. Well, listen, it was amazing to be on this platform. I want everybody that's tuned in, definitely. I just want, if I had to leave you with one thing, it's literally just step into your purpose this year, man. Get it done in 2021. This year, don't wait. Don't wait. It doesn't matter what you got going on around you. Just try your hardest to live a life on your terms. And the only way you can do that is by starting. Like nobody great, you know, no one starts being great, but you have to be great. You have to start to get great, and that's the most important thing that I think for anybody. Just do it without, even if you don't feel like you got the resources. Like I said, it's about your resourcefulness. You know what I mean? You got everything you need within you. You got everything in your mind. Whatever the mind can believe, it can, you know, have in your life. So just keep pushing, man. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I see you later. Bye.